I do have a few things. We could do a quick rumor mill rundown for Star Wars.
Okay.
Do it.
Do it.
Now, this
Do it.
is according to Making Star Wars,
Uh-huh.
and this is all about the Ahsoka show. And
All of
basically
these
about
spoilers or theories are about
the first couple. Then there's something about Star Wars Celebration, and that's about it. But this is about Sabine and Ezra.
they getting together.
They are not. We know when we last saw Ezra and Sabine, he gave her his lightsaber. And when he went off with the Purgles and Grand Admiral Thrawn, she still had it.
Well,
So what Making Star Wars is saying, when they get back together, Sabine is going to continue to use that green lightsaber in battle. She trained with the dark saber. She's obviously familiar with how to use one, so she is going to
that would make
basically
sense.
continue to use it.
Okay.
So you're saying, well, Keith, what's Ezra going to use? And
Am I
this
saying
is
His red dark saber.
that? Somebody's got to say that somewhere.
someone said it. I don't know who it was. I swear I thought it was you, Dave. So, as for Ezra, they say after spending years without his lightsaber in a strange new land, he's managed to master the Force in a very different way. Apparently, the former Jedi Padawan has developed his own martial arts based Force powers, and the site explains this is Making Star Wars. The martial arts style, coupled with his connection to animals, makes him an interesting take on a Force user on screen as he uses his hands, feet, and Force and nature to beat up. Now, here's how I have to explain this next two words I'm using together: undead stormtroopers.
Oh, thanks.
What?
I hate
We
it.
got zombies. We're doing zombies now.
No, thank you. No,
So
no,
I like the martial arts Ezra,
no. I'm pumping the brakes. Keith,
but according
I'm pumping
once
those
again, this is
brakes so
not
hard.
this is not my theory. Not my theory.
I don't care. I'm pumping the brakes.
You can certainly pump the brakes, but what they're saying is, Grand Admiral Thrawn. They're in the New Beyond, is where Thrawn and Ezra had ended up, and they have witches, much like the witches of Dathomir.
Oh God.
And they're going to bring these stormtroopers back from the dead, and that's where Thrawn's army is going to be. I really hope that is not true.
Oh, me too. You can tell Filoni's not writing that. Holy crap.
Well, he is writing it.
Yeah.
Well, then that ain't
If
happening.
it, I don't think so either. I do like the fact that I like the martial arts Ezra because it makes sense. He would have to use, if he doesn't have his lightsaber, which we saw at the end of Rebels, he gave it up. He would need something else to do.
You know what he could do instead?
Heirs!
I actually, and so yeah, I'm gonna take that rumor back to the theory editing room real quick, and I'm going to give it a much better idea. So, I was over on YouTube. I was over on the Tube of Views the other day, and I went to this little channel called Fatherly Fandom,
No,
and he did a video on the Jedi. And he was talking about the first kind of iteration of a lightsaber, which was like shoving the Force basically through this crystal to generate an energy sword. What if Ezra rediscovers that ability and he's become so powerful in the Force that he's able to use these crystals, whether they're Kyber or not? I don't remember what
They
kind
weren't
they-
Kyber.
Or Kyber, okay. He's able to use these things to generate these laser swords.
Now, do you remember what the downside of that was? It was a dark side power that did it.
Yes.
So
He's
that
been
would
hanging out
mean.
Thrawn, man.
Well, no, I like that because he could be much like the Jedi, where they believed in a balance of the Force. So Ezra, he could come back and he could no longer be, I'm not a Jedi. I'm a Force user. I use dark side. I use light side. I am perfectly at balance with the Force.
Yeah. I could see
what
that.
was that creature that was on that planet? You know, the big Lion King moment.
Oh, the
where he
Bendu?
was- What?
The Bendu?
Bendu, yes. So, they were very balance to the Force.
Yes.
Good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's had no Jedi training. You know what I mean? So they didn't skew his vision of the Force to one side or the other.
Correct.
Yeah, the only
And
training he
Bendu's
received.
and Bendu was part of the Bendu monks were part of the Jedi, one of the original things. Once again, watch Fatherly Fandoms. Wonderful history of the Jedi. That was awesome. So, one final spoiler from the site, if you guys are ready for this.
Yes.
We are going to have a Sith master and apprentice in the show too, called Balon and Shin.
Okay.
And they're going to have red sabers, Morgan Elsbeth, and the witches. So the two Sith and these witches are going to be fighting Ahsoka with her white lightsabers, Sabine with the green saber, and Ezra doing Force karate. I can't even say those words together without laughing a little bit.
Well, that's
Sounds like a fun season.
those, Keith. They were certainly all words. You are right.
Hey, I wonder how
And
many
you said them.
Mandalorian episodes are going to shoehorn into the Ahsoka season.
Right.
But remember, we've had other reports talking about, the world beyond worlds
Yeah.
and Ahsoka being there, and it's going to have a what if sort of feel about it. So, and I don't know making Star Wars. I don't know if they have any credible information they've ever done. I just saw this and I'm like, wow, this is very detailed. Some of it I like. I would like to see a Force karate user. Once again, that's two words very hard to say together. But I also like Doug's theory that we could see the comeback of, the Jedi sabers, where they're using the power of the dark side to make a laser sword.
It's
But-
going to be like Aang. Ezra will be like Aang in The Last Airbender. What do you think, Doug? You think I'm wrong?
I don't know, man.
Earth, wind, and fire. He's going to be using. Did I miss one?
Earth, wind, and fire, water,
Water. Yeah, he's going to use them
and
all.
and heart.
Oh, Heart's one now?
Yeah. The Planeteers, man.
Guy with the cabbage?
We're the Planeteers. You can be one too. 'Cause saving our planet is the thing to do. Looting and polluting is not the way. Hear what Captain Planet has to say.
Oh my gosh. Only you can stop pollution.
That's
When
right.
it's-
Only you can. I don't know. Like just stop polluting and stuff, or I'll turn you into a tree.
Or I'll stand here and cry.
Have you seen those the Funny or Die Don Cheadle videos?
Don Cheadle? No.
Don Cheadle from
Yeah.
yeah.
I know who he is.
Yeah, so he plays Captain Planet, and he's decided he's tired of humans polluting, so he just starts turning them into trees. And he goes mad with power.
Don Cheadle.
It's hilarious. You should check it out.
Oh, damn. Shit.
Okay, are you guys ready for the last bit? This is not a making Star Wars.
This
Thing,
is
this
a
is-
Mandalorian specific thing, I assume.
Not a Mandalorian specific thing. It is a Star
Oh,
Wars
it is.
thing.
That's what's on the screen. Oh, there we go.
No, it isn't. Star Wars is on.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Tangent Time had Mando on. Oh my God. I had the Star Wars thing up, I thought,
Weird.
but I don't. But okay. So the last thing, Star Wars Celebration Europe is coming up April 7th through the 10th.
Okay.
Everyone is excited. Hype is through the roof.
Okay.
Or
The rumor is that 3 new movies are going to be announced.
Oh, Christ. Yeah?
the newest
Already?
trilogy?
They didn't say what they were or anything else. We're assuming one will be the former Damon Lindelof, now Stephen Knight movie,
Mm-hmm.
but then 2 others. Do you think one could be a Mandoverse movie?
Maybe.
I don't know. I like the format that they're using to tell their stories, and I think it'd probably be more successful. I mean, it'd just be watching like 2 episodes in a theater.
Would you rather
Is-
this crossover that they're coming to would rather be like a limited series on Disney Plus instead of a
Me?
theatrical release? Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would prefer that. If they could
You
tell
know
a
what
longer
I would
story.
what I would prefer, and I might get booed for this, but I don't think every Star Wars film release needs to be in a trilogy.
Now, they did not say that these three films were
Yes.
part of a trilogy. They just said three separate films. But
Uh-huh.
I totally agree with you. I think Rogue One, I think Solo, I think it is proven we can have
Yeah.
Star Wars movies that do not need to be a trilogy or part of a trilogy of trilogies. Just tell
I
good stories.
think when you wrangled yourself into it, we need to tell this story in 3 movies, and that's all we have. You put yourself in a situation where it's like you don't have enough time, or you don't have it. You don't have enough to be able to tell the full story that you want to. The fact that without Clone Wars, it's almost impossible to watch the prequels because they are so bad. If you don't have the context of the Clone Wars to realize, oh, this story could have been better. Without the stuff that's going on in The Mandalorian and The Bad Batch, the sequels are not good. Like the
Yeah.
overall story that they decided
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, one sec.
Okay.
The sequels are still bad. It's fun watching The Mandalorian and stuff try to tiptoe
They're
their way
making an
into
attempt,
explaining.
though. They're
Yes.
making an attempt.
Yes.
They're trying.
They may
They're
succeed.
trying.
I don't know yet, but they have not gotten there yet.
No.
Yeah.
And what was the Star Wars Resistance? That cartoon that was terrible. That didn't help.
God. That
That
I'm
made
telling
it
you,
worse, I think.
that was the only Star Wars show I ever started, stopped, and never started again. That was so incredibly bad. But and I think the best thing they could do. We don't know what these 3 movies are, and after Star Wars Celebration, we'll probably talk about it and have our thoughts on it all. But they got to do what Andor did.
Yeah.
He basically sat down and said, "Here's my pitch. I have 2 seasons. It's going to span 5 years, and here's the outline of everything that's going to happen." And they were probably like, "We're going to tell this guy no." Then he came in and they were like, "Oh my God, we're telling this guy yes." Because it was all well thought out. Everything had its place. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with everybody. Instead of what we got with the sequel trilogy, hey, write a movie. Okay, you're going to do the sequel, and then we're going to have another guy do the third one, but we're going to fire him and bring back the first guy again. And it is going to be a jumbled mess of just poodoo
Yeah.
to put
Well,
in Star
people
Wars
will love
terms.
it because it's Star Wars.
Yeah. It's gonna make so much money on the opening weekend because people are gonna think it's gonna be good. It is not going to be at all. But people will show up. There will be butts in seats.
We will not be putting any effort into this whatsoever. Enjoy.
Mhm.
Here's a golden turd for you.
Oh, God.
That's insulting to golden turds.
Right.
But and once again, I'm not going to bash Kathleen Kennedy because even though there has been some bad on her watch, probably more bad than good, there has been some good. But if she is getting replaced this summer, I really hope it is somebody who can not fire every director that comes on board to do something because it's almost to the point where Star Wars, nobody wants to work with Lucasfilm because they're not allowed to complete their projects. They got a very tight rope around their necks and they yank it as soon as something goes wrong. They need to start being more director friendly, more writer friendly. Just have it all make sense. Be like, you write your own story, but here's some things we need you to kind of work in, or here's other things
Basic
going on.
parameters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do anything to screw this up that we're doing over here, but go ahead and write your own story.
Yep. As long as you have these like 3 elements in the story that need to happen, write your movie. And they don't even have to make a big appearance. Just make sure that you include it in there somewhere. And then take it and run. I think that works for the MCU.
Yeah. You know what I think is the most interesting aspect of Tony Gilroy, going back to Andor for a moment? The fact that he never considered himself a Star Wars fan the entire time. He said the idea of it never interested him, and yet he still made one of the best piece of Star Wars media out there. And I wonder if that's because he didn't feel weighed down by the larger, universe. Like he wasn't trying to fix anything or weave it into somebody else's story. Like he knew the story that he wanted to tell, and that seemed to be all he was interested in.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, do you want to put a couple? Go ahead, Dave.
I was just gonna say he knew where he had to end up with the character,
Yeah.
and that's it. He's like, show us what happened. What are we gonna see?
Hey, Tony, you should put some Jedis in here. It's not the story I'm telling.
They're kind of boring.
Nope.
I don't know.
What if a Sith attack? No.
Yeah,
No,
I
this
don't know
is-
what that word means, so...
Yeah. Are you talking gibberish? Here's my story. It's been great because it is telling the story of the people on the ground. We're not, we've talked about this 100 times, but that's what made it so good, and the fact that it was so well written and so well acted. Maybe they need to get more people that don't know Star Wars.
I mean, those Mon Mothma scenes, all of them were just so. The dialogue was so expertly written.
Yes.
You really had to pay attention to understand what they were saying. But then it was at the same time it was easy to understand.
Mhm.
It was just so well written and acted.
Like the body language when she's talking to that gangster from her home planet. Man,
Right.
that was just
That-
so
oh,
good.
That was so good. That episode was amazing. I love the sort of, like, he's trying to, talk his way around, like, political talk, like, maybe you can introduce my son to your daughter, and maybe we'll work out some kind of deal. I'd really like to get closer to your family. And she was like, yeah, no, I'm not playing these games with you.
Yeah, but never saying anything directly. That's just a special talent
Mhm.
of writing. It's like I don't know, experienced playwrights or something like Shakespeare level.
Another one of my favorite scenes was when she was trying to pin things on her husband, and she just, like, totally threw him under the bus in that car ride. And he's like,
yeah.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I know that you've been gambling. What? No, I don't get... What? What is this?
And
I know you owe some people some money.
Right. Who
and she
said
never,
this?
yeah, she never stopped, even though how much he protested, because he obviously was not in on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but she just never stopped. So, she got her point across. She knows they're listening. That's cool because it's so subtle.
Yeah. Tony, we saw that you're going to be doing doing these scenes with the Senate. Look, we got an idea for you. You know what's been working for the Mandalorian? Uh-huh. I swear to God, if you bring that green puppet anywhere near my set. Oh, whoa, okay, buddy. Jeez, just an idea.
I hope that the success of Andor opens them up to doing other things instead of, we don't, as much as I love Jedi and Mandalorians and Sith and all that, there's room for other stories. Crime syndicates, everything. We could have just a one-off bounty hunter chasing down a criminal. Who cares?
That'd be
It could
great.
be exciting. Yeah.
Andor could have been a story like outside the Star Wars universe. If they didn't make that about Star Wars, that could have been its own freestanding show. Could have been any dystopian government taking over. That's how it. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
That's what the story.
Absolutely.
Okay, we don't have much time left, and I'm done, all out of theories. Oop, that's not
You're all out
the
of bubble gum.
I'm all out of
You're
bubble
just
gum.
Bubble gum and kick ass. Hey, if they can bring
Okay.
back Stormtroopers, can they bring Savage Opress back?
Oh, I hope so.
That would make it so much. That would actually make it good if we had a zombie Savage Opress. Oh, and bring back Maul too, but Maul, because he was so so filled with hate and anger. Somehow he maintains his faculties, gets his spider legs back, and then he sees in the distance, Savage, is that you? And then he comes forward and his eyes are blank. Drool is dripping down his mouth. And he's dragging a lightsaber on the ground, not even knowing how to swing it. He lunges for Maul.
No, it's just heavy. It's just heavy.
It's just heavy, yeah, okay. Here you go.
Only Maul comes back as a barber. He likes to cut hair.
No, I am not with the Sith anymore. I fought Obi-Wan. We are on good terms. What, he's dead? Oh.
Did you see his beard? Who do you think trimmed that?
Who did that? Huh? Who did that? It was me.
You want to look good like Obi-Wan? You come to Maul.
Come to Maul.
You always make fun of people that got their hair cut at the mall.
But that's MALL, not MAUL.
Yeah, baby.
And don't forget to hit us up at Twitter, leave a comment down below, and we will see you next time on Not Your Status Quo.